Konnichiwa everyone, this is Lord Daimyo, and this is my review for Candy Flurry Manga Chapter 4. YouTube algorithm shows that only 0% of you are subscribed to my videos, so if you enjoy my videos, you know what to do. Change that number from 0 to 100. Okay, let's just hop right into it. So we are continuing from Chapter 3, obviously, but we're continuing also directly in the scene. So the last scene was the 1-star class reset agent Toka IRIE stopping that truck from running into that building with her ice cream powers. So we're still there. This is where Chapter 4 is continuing. So they again say, aren't reset agents only supposed to use their sweet powers against other sweet users? And IRIE says, oh yeah, that's right. And they're like, well, what do you mean by that's right? I mean, obviously you're not supposed to. So continuing with that funny bit with IRIE. But now we get further info about IRIE and reset agents as a whole. And this is really, really interesting. So I'm guessing TSUMUGI asks Misaki, who is that person? He said it's Toka IRIE senpai. And he said one of the 5 reset agents who are sweet users. She's the vanilla ice cream user. And we kind of see other users behind her. So we see what looks like a younger girl with some sort of liquid flowing around her. We see what looks like a guy in like a full European metal suit of armor with something else around him. And then we see what looks like a larger person in like a big coat, and then another larger person with like a scarf or like a striped sweater or something. So I'm going to do another video about this separately, talking about my predictions, what I think these other reset agents are, but a really great info dump and a really great like teaser at these other reset agents. So Tsumugi's like, oh gosh, that's bad. And then here comes a reset truck, and IRIE's like, Misaki, this is our ride to go back to headquarters, you're coming with me. And he said, okay, yes, of course. And then IRIE says, Tsumugi, do you want to ride back home too? And she's like, no, I don't live that far away, no trouble. And she's like, well, don't be shy, come on. And she's like, no, that's fine. And Misaki, I swear, Tsumugi says, that would be too much, right, Misaki? And he's like, declining such a generous offer is rude. Like, what? Like, she's clearly trying to get out of this. And Misaki just doesn't see. He's like, he's clueless. So, it's hilarious. Immediate next panel is Tsumugi and Misaki sitting in the back with another reset agent driving and IRIE. So, it's so funny. And so they're driving down the streets. Tsumugi's like, oh, my house is right around that corner. And they just pass it. And she's like, you passed my house. And Misaki's like, well, of course, Senpai being the oldest, she'll be dropped off first with me, and then they'll take you home. And she's like, oh, okay. And then Misaki's like, oh, see, look, headquarters is right here, right around the corner. And they just pass headquarters. And he's like, what's going on? And Tsumugi's like, what's going on? Don't you understand? Being sarcastic to Misaki, it's funny. But they go through a tunnel. They're clearly going to the ruined Tokyo. And IRIE saying, I used to live in Tokyo. I'd pass by here with my grandma. And this sort of builds the whole thing. She keeps talking about her neighborhood and where she lived. So the whole destruction of Tokyo is being more personal for IRIE. So they arrive in, like, on an overpass right outside the destroyed Tokyo, and IRIE gets out, Tsumugi and Misaki get out, and then the reset truck just drives away. So, really ominous. I wonder what's going to happen. Are they going to fight? Like, is she going to strand them? Like, what's going on? So, IRIE says, how do you think all this destruction happened with Tokyo and all this stuff? And she just plain out says it's your fault, right? And Tsumugi's like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. And then she pulls like a big brain L move and is like, oh, Misaki, yesterday you took out the donut user. There's no way you'd be able to take him out. Someone else had to help you. And then the lollipop user just showed up the same day randomly. And then that macaroon user said that a female, like a girl, took him out. So the girl user has to be the lollipop user. You have to be the lollipop user. She said there's a lot more evidence that incriminates you, but do you want me to list everything? So she's like, just admit it was you. And then right in the middle of this seriousness, she's like, and here's all the other things. And she's like, oh, I forgot my bag in the car. Like, is she competent or not? Like, and then she's like, okay, well, I'm just going to take you back to headquarters by force. And it starts getting chilly, and then just tons of vanilla ice cream. And my guy, Misaki, grabs Tsumugi and jumps down with his fork and saves him. And IRIE's like, oh yeah, I should have confiscated your cutlery first. But they start running away from her. And she just like a super cool villain. Just standing there, oh, I'll find out once I corner you whether you think you can fight back or talk your way out of it. And there's just a bunch of ice, and she's just sliding down it, just skating, catching up with them faster and faster. Misaki's like, don't ever use your lollipop against her. She'll know for sure. Just don't do it. Let me take care of her. And as IRIE is skating down the street chasing them, she's like, oh, I remember that flower shop. I used to go there. Oh, I remember this place, and I remember all this and all that. And so she's really, this is really personal for her. Like, this lollipop user destroyed her home, her neighborhood, and maybe even like her family. So we don't know. But as Tsumugi and Misaki are running away, they start getting colder and colder as IRIE is catching up. And then Misaki turns around, pulls out that fork and says, get behind me, I'll protect us. But we all know there's no way he can protect him. She's a sweet user with vanilla ice cream. It's insane. So as soon as like a huge ice cream ball is about to come and land on him, Tsumugi pulls out a giant lollipop and saves them, and IRIE's like, oh, I knew it was you. And Tsumugi's like, well, in that case, I'm gonna have to fight her. So super exciting chapter. This is my concern with the action in the previous chapters. It was just Tsumugi coming out with her lollipop and just doing like one big attack against the donut user, one big attack against the macaroon user. But I don't think she can just do one huge strike with her lollipop against IRIE. So I'm hoping there's going to be more of a conflict, more of a fight. And we'll really get to see what the choreography is like for Candy Flurry. So I'm hoping it's going to be good. I'm hoping this whole next chapter is mostly going to be action. A possibly one-on-one fight against IRIE and Tsumugi. Maybe Misaki coming in and helping a little bit. But I'm really excited to see what these powers can do more in depth, and to see more action in depth. And we've set all this stuff up. This is going to be the first big fight, I'm hoping, and I'm just really excited for it. But that was my review for Candy Flurry chapter number 4. Let me know what you think in the comments, and thank you very much for watching. Have a fantastic day.